Hello, Professor. In this video, I will be interpreting the data that I have received from the form that I've sent to various people, and the responses I've received is 19 responses regarding our project, which I'll recap briefly, which is an application which can send customizable notification for one desire or needs, such as, for example, how was your day? What are you going to do today? Are you going to exercise today? How is your work going? So it's just to send awareness of people while using the app as your device, as the device can very be distracting and can drift your attention to one thing to another in a split of a second. So I just want to raise awareness within the uses of our phones. So we'll analyze through the questions, as the questions consist of 15 questions I sent through the various people. So cover 5 key questions that can make different a big statement and such to understand of whether this app could be applicable for further uses or people would be interested in using. So the first question would be, do you think excessive consumption of social media is good for you mentally? So 52.6% said no, 26.3% said yes, 21.1% said maybe. The second question is, are you self-aware of your thoughts while being on your device? 73.7% said yes, 15.8% said no, and 10.5% said maybe. The third question is, do you feel distracted being on social media? On social media, so 36.8% said no, 42.1% said yes, and 21.1% said maybe. The fourth question is, do you know why you're consuming the media? So 94.7% said yes, so majority of them. The last question is, do you think an application which sends customizable notification help you balance your device usage more healthily? So 10.5% said no, 36.8% said maybe, and 52.6% said yes. Upon covering these data, at first in seeing these data, I wasn't anticipating much, but I was quite anxious of how the results going to be as this project of mine, and I understand that any project would start in a blink of an eye, and you would need to carry on with the project regardless of the percentage of whether people would want to use it or not. But once I soak in and understand these data, I started to understand that people have their different ways of using their phone. Especially one question I would say strikes me most is, are you self-aware with your thoughts while being on your device? So 73.7% said yes. So majority of people aren't aware of why they're using their phone or why they pick up their phone in the first place. So I thought to myself, would this app would actually help, because that's the main goal of myself, of helping them be more self-aware by using the app. And I think to myself again, perhaps what about the other percentage that I can help of being deceptive of their phone usage and the ways that they are using the phone. So for some people, especially I've send this form to various people also with different occupation, as some of them are teachers as well, not teachers but on their way to be teachers, but regarding the data that I received, I understand that people's uses are different, and that's one thing to take into account while I carry on with this project, is to understand that within the frame of people using any apps and such, I just want to make this app to be a supporting anchor for perhaps the other percentages of people that aren't aware why they're using the device in the first place. As the main approach of this app, as I mentioned before, is really affected by the social media aspect of it, or different types of things that are on the internet, on the phone itself, and it can be deceptive toward your time, toward your health, toward your mental health. And I want to bring that to minimize that at any certain percentage, or help even marginally, because I think if we were have to span the time of ourselves to understand our thoughts, I think that can help them to be thinking more clearly and such. So covering again regarding the data that I have received is quite differentiated, quite evenly, I would say. But the percentage of people that are confident that it will help or think that it will help is quite not too high, but it's at a 52.6%. So there are always things to improve, and the other percentage is still undecisive whether this help would help or not. So carrying on in the future, I would want to address this app further and allow them to be accessible for the people to use. And while using the app, I want to help them give their feedback on their experiences while using the app as such, so I can further adjust of things of what can help them in the long run, also while still using the app. So these data are a good starting point to understand that surprisingly people have their different way thinking on the way they use their devices. So I hope to gather more data and still carry on with this project. I thank you, Professor, for your attention and your valuable time to listening to this review of the data that I have received. Thank you, Professor.